Can everyone hear me, councillors? Thank you. My name is Antony Carpen. I am a local historian amongst many other things, and my question to the committee is primarily about the role of local historians in the local planning process. For those of you who haven't been to Cambridge Library and the Cambridgeshire Collection, you will find previous local plans, including the one by Babbage, 1934, Holford Wright, 1950, and John Harry Lewis, 1974, I believe. And one of the things that previous local plans did was they digitised some of those plans to feed into the process, but I don't think this has been done with these ones, although I have digitised some of them myself. Now, one of my appeals or concerns is with regards to one of the papers, and it was the study of retail and leisure done by the consultants that you hired, and there was a line in there which caused some alarm because it relates to Cambridge's nightlife. There's a statement in there which basically says Cambridge has always provided basically nighttime entertainment and nightclubs for town and alike, in effect, trying to give the impression that everything has been hunky-dory, but it hasn't. And the reality is, if we go back through local history, that Cambridge literally had a riot in 1985 to make the point that there wasn't enough for young people and teenagers to do, and that was one of the reasons why the junction got built. And so, really my query is, will there be any kind of like formal processes or structures to bring in local historians to basically provide essential background information, mindful that if the consultants get things wrong, as they clearly have done here, it could take the local plan down a very different route. And I guess finally as something to add, comparing to the local plans in the past, this one doesn't deal with transport issues and it doesn't deal with leisure issues, primarily about housing, so there's not an easy crossover. And so my concern again is that there are going to be things that are missed out in this local plan and your other strategies, such as the provision of leisure and sports facilities, which is something I've previously asked Councillor Thornborough about. I don't expect an answer on that one today, but would be grateful for a summary at the next full council meeting. I'll leave it there. Thank you.
We note your comments on the historic perspective of retail consultants. On a wider note, the extensive evidence base has been prepared by consultants with relevant sector experience and reviewed by officers who have local knowledge to ensure it's robust. Different evidence-based studies place more or less emphasis on recent and longer-term past as appropriate to each topic to inform their findings. The plan is being informed by a strategic historic impact assessment and a baseline study that has been published as part of the background documents. In relation to planning for villages, our approach is informed by conservation area appraisals, which specifically focus on the historic pattern. But we welcome all comments highlighting issues to consider in the first proposals and its supporting evidence, and would encourage everyone, including those with historic local knowledge, to contribute to the forthcoming first proposals in this next consultation. But the evidence gathering doesn't stop now. It continues right through to when the plan is submitted to the inspector. So more evidence will be appreciated. And the other thing is that we are very aware that a lot has changed through the pandemic, and we've still got evidence to gather about the impact on retail, the impact on how we socialise going forward. So the historic experiences that people have had in Cambridge are very important, and I really hope that you add them and they can be taken on board. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor. Mr. Carpen, have you got a supplementary question?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Thornborough, for the comprehensive reply. And actually, yes, that's something that is of concern, I think, from a contemporary local history case is things like the future of the Grafton Centre, where you could argue that the SPD for that area actually does need quite a significant refresh, given the economic implosions of a number of high street brands, and obviously the emerging patterns of what shopping is going to be like, amongst other things, in the future. Again, I think one of my concerns remains that as the local planning process kind of gives a feel of piecemeal expansion of the city, there won't be an opportunity to build things like the concert hall, the swimming pool, which the Cambridge University have said is going to be delayed or is not their priority, and other, what I believe to be important leisure infrastructure that actually Cambridge needs in order to sustain the economic growth. And that's before we've even touched on things like the water crisis. I'll leave it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Carpen.
Thank you for your supplementary question. The future of the Grafton Centre is interesting, and in several respects, because of the change in retail that we're experiencing, but also the change in planning law to do with the use classes. But it is an important area of shopping. It's a different experience to the Grand Arcade, and it's important. And we would very much encourage mixed use going forward that really is beneficial to that area. We also, going forward, there may be areas that do need to be reviewed with SPD refreshes. There may be areas where master plans in local area would be appropriate, so we'll keep that under review. Yes, sports facilities. The commitment by the university, we are following up on that, and we do expect that to come through. Your comments about art and culture, very, very important, particularly